IDV's Frieren crossover is finally here. Let's begin. Welcome back to another episode, guys. We've got Frieren to talk about today. So this week we're getting the Frieren crossover, that is of course Season 38 Essence 2. In this Essence you'll be able to get the S-tier meteorologist skin that is Frieren herself. The skin itself seems to have some effects where she kind of puts on a hood kind of cloak thing whenever she has the rain effect, whenever she uses her rain ability. She has a floating idle animation where flowers kind of appear beneath her. I think it's an idle animation when she's just standing still for long enough. There are also some A-tier skins in this Essence, of course, including the A-tier psychologist skin Fern, the A-tier patient skin Stark, and the A-tier priestess skin called Aura. I'm really looking forward to getting any of these skins. Of course, I would love to get the Frieren skin because I actually do play quite a lot of meteorologists. He's one of my most played characters right now, so I would like to kind of get that skin, but I don't really mind. Getting any of these characters would be fantastic. The crossover also has an event called the Frieren's Manor Tour, so I'm assuming she comes to the manor. If you participate in this event, you'll be able to receive the A-tier explorer skin Sign, 6 portraits based on the characters, 1 portrait frame, although it says frames, so I'm not sure if there are more that they just haven't revealed, emotes, and even more. If you share the event, you'll be able to get 10 Season 38 Essence 2s. I think it is Season 38 Essence 2, whichever Essence it is that's about to release, so that's really good. That means you'll have a higher chance of getting one of those A tiers or even S tier skins. There's also a secondary event called the Decipher Grimoire event. This is basically just a mini add-on where you'll be able to get for free the B tier meteorologist accessory called Grimoire. This accessory, similar to kind of previous crossover events we've had in the past, is upgradable. It is upgradable from B tier all the way up to A tier for free through the event. You have to collect magical energy or coins, I believe, and then convert that to the A tier accessory. But if you want to get it to the S tier accessory version, you have to pay echoes. I can't really remember which effects are specifically for the S tier and which ones are for the A tier, but the effects for the accessory create magic shield effects as footprints behind you. There is a magic circle effect beneath her whenever she's aiming an ability by the looks of it. There are flowers and sparkles whenever she's flying that I think looks really awkward and looks more like a PNG that's stuck beneath her. I don't really like that effect too much. There are flowers and bubble effects whenever she makes rain on raining areas. We're also getting some store content with this crossover, including the Knight crossover costume package that includes the Knight's S-tier skin called Himmel. It has some interesting effects where he seems to be able to transform into the older version of himself whenever he's in the lobby, so you can switch between the two forms, but not in a match as far as I can tell. There is a rescue effect that leaves like a statue behind wherever you rescued from, and that is just within the skin itself. That is not an accessory effect as far as I could tell. There's also in this package the S-tier accessory Hero's Blade. Now this has some interesting effects, including blue flower footprints behind him, similar to how the accessory for Frieren also had footprints effects. There are also blue magical swirls when casting his predictions, using his abilities, getting the movement speed or the shield and stuff like that. And there are also flowers on windows whenever he vaults them, so that looks really pretty as well. This skin and accessory, or the package itself, I think are only for echoes, and there's going to be a 31% discount for the package for a limited time. I'm not sure how long that limited time is, but if you buy the package it will be cheaper, but you can only buy it with echoes. There are some more things in the store, including an A-tier furniture piece called Mimic that is my personal favorite by far. This has a really interesting interaction where it kind of eats the survivor, basically the same as how Frieren gets eaten by the Mimic in the anime. Well, I think it does it with everyone and you can get eaten. And there's also a massive A-tier furniture piece called Solar Dragon that is really looks like a massive dragon. The video showcases it being huge, and it does have an interaction where it does like a small animation and kind of flaps its wings and stuff. These are also both for echoes only, and you can buy them together if you want to for 37% off, or you can buy them individually with a 20% discount for the first week on each one. This event also brings a crossover public map that is called Unknown Adventure. It seems to be like an island map. This map will let you interact with characters from the event, or basically from the anime, experience stories, relive anime moments, do activities, and even use magic. Around the map, I believe you can collect adventure medals that you can then exchange for a multitude of different dishes that you'll be able to use in the normal game. And if you complete all interactive missions, you'll be able to get the furniture piece that is the furniture piece Hero Himmel's statue. And this has a really beautiful interactive animation that I talked about when they first announced it. I assumed this is what was going to happen. It basically cleans the statue up from kind of plants and vines and then gives beautiful blue flower effects underneath the statue. So this is for free. Really, really lovely. Talking about some stuff that's not connected to the Frieren crossover, we are getting some character days this week, including Ripper's character day on the 7th. This is going to be his 6th character day, meaning he's getting a special portrait. We're getting Guard26's character day on the 8th of this month. That is going to be his 5th character day, meaning he's getting a wall hanging portrait thing to put on the wall. And there's Herald. Herald is now the renamed version of Disciple. They kind of flip-flop between calling her Herald and Disciple. She used to be called Disciple, but now she's called Herald officially, and she's getting her character day on the 11th. It's technically next Monday, but it's before the next episode of This Week in Identity 5. That's going to be her 5th character day, meaning she's getting a wall hanging, similar to Guard26. Now, let's move on to talk about some future content. NetEase gave us a Q&A on the exact same day as I released last week's episode, so I'm a little bit late on this, but let's talk about it anyway. I've basically summarized some of the things that are coming, not everything, because there are so many different questions. If you want to see all of the questions and some of the things that I'm not mentioning in the video, then you can look at the screen right here, or you can also find all of the Q&As over on their official Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that if you want to. And you can also submit your own questions on those exact posts as well, as we need some because they seem to mostly be China centered at the moment. So let's talk about them. First of all, the logic path and season rank rewards for the next season have been revealed. At least they revealed who they're going to be for. Nightmare is going to be getting the A tier skin for the next logic path, and the rank rewards are going to be an S tier accessory for Mad Eyes, an A tier accessory for Hullabaloo, and an A tier accessory for Acrobat. It's quite cool. I'm really excited to see what they do for Mad Eyes. Mad Eyes doesn't get too much love. They've talked about which characters are going to be getting some upcoming skins this year, and they include Puppeteer and Painter, and Prisoner is going to be getting a second limited S tier skin, I believe. They're going to be bringing back some chase music mid-August, so that probably means next week. They are kind of considering some character adjustments, for example Cheerleader, where they're considering giving her a buff, and Goatman, where they have some plans to nerf him, although I don't think they've done them yet. They've said that they are going to continue to optimize and fine-tune the new final deduction phase. That's a new feature that's been recently added to IDV, where it kind of reveals the survivor and the hunter to each other periodically at the end of a match whenever there are a certain number of survivors left. They're going to continue to balance it out, as they do see that it's quite strong in certain situations, so that's quite cool. There are some optimizations coming to the surrender mechanic whenever bots are added to the match because someone has gone AFK, so I believe you'll be able to surrender a little bit easier now. They're going to be adding a limited time event mode sometime in the future to Copycat with optional camps and characters, whatever that means. I don't play Copycat, so maybe you guys know what that means. There is a new themed room coming at some point in the future, and a re-release of the Sherlock Holmes themed room 221B, and that could be at any time. Is that going to be a themed room connected to a crossover? Maybe, that would be quite cool. And a big announcement for those of you that are on Android, NetEase has finally announced that they're going to be upgrading the game to a new game engine that is the NX3, I believe connected to Vulkan engine. This will apparently noticeably improve performance when released on Android devices. For those of you on newer versions of Android, I believe that means it's going to be even better. A lot of people have been complaining about frame rate issues and stuff, and this game has never been properly well optimized, I would say. So yeah, this is going to be really cool to see the game working even better. Although I play on PC, so this is probably not going to matter too much. And a quick reminder that next week we will be getting the Misty Villa update. There will be adding an extra floor to the Misty Villa S tier room, but it should also bring some more furniture both to the people who own the Misty Villa, of course, and I believe also furniture pieces to the store itself, although I don't think they've announced yet what's coming, but I'm excited to see what that is. If you haven't already, make sure that you click on the video that is right there because YouTube thinks that you will like it.